205 times. That's how many times the average person checks their phone every single day. Not because they need to, not because something important is happening, but because their brain is begging for a hit. And if you're watching this video right now, there's a high chance you feel stuck. And I don't mean stuck like you don't have ambition, because you wouldn't even be here if you didn't care about your life. I mean stuck like you've got goals. You've got a vision of the person you want to become and a life you want to live. But when it comes to actually doing the work on a consistent basis, when it comes to waking up every day and building something real, it's like your brain just sabotages you and you don't even understand why that is. And I'm telling you this from experience, because the only reason I've built what I've been able to build, the only reason I've been able to get to the point where I'm doing 6 figures every single month isn't because I have some secret cheat code or that I'm smarter than anyone else. It's because I learned how to master my focus. I also learned how to stop letting dopamine and distractions control my life entirely. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same thing in just 7 days. But first, you need to understand what's actually going wrong inside of your head, because it's not what you think. Because on paper, you should be winning. You've got time, you've got energy, you've got opportunity, you've got access to information, you've got access to the internet, you've got access to everything you could possibly need to start making progress. And yet you can't. And you keep repeating the same cycle where you say you're going to lock in tomorrow, you're going to focus tomorrow, you're going to start tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you wake up, you check your phone, and you scroll, and you react, and you consume, and before you even realize it, you spent the first hour of your day feeding your brain stimulation instead of building towards your future. And once you do that, your whole day is basically cooked. And here's the part that makes it worse than you think. A study published this year in PNAS Nexus took nearly 500 adults and had them block the internet on their phones for just 2 weeks. No social media, no browsing, no apps, just calls and texts, and the results were wild. 70% reported better mental health. 73% reported improved well-being, and on a standard cognitive test, their attention spans improved by the equivalent of reversing 10 years of age-related decline. 10 whole years, just by cutting off the feed. So when I tell you that your phone is the problem, I'm not being dramatic. The data is there, and the scary part, most people won't do anything about it because they're too addicted to even admit it's happening in the first place. And I'm not saying that to judge you, because look, I've been there too. And if anything, the reason I'm making this video, because I've had to fight this battle myself, and I've realized that the reason most people fail in entrepreneurship, the reason most people never become the best version of themselves that they want to become and know they should become, isn't because they aren't smart, and it isn't because they don't have potential, and it is not because they lack any level of motivation. It's because they lack focus. And focus is the real currency of success in the modern world. Most people are walking around thinking they need more motivation, more energy, more knowledge, more strategy, more clarity. Well, the truth is, if you have focus, you can gain knowledge. If you have focus, you can build discipline. If you are focused, you can develop skills. And if you have focus, you can sit down and do the work even when you don't feel like it, which is literally what entrepreneurship demands from you every single day. Because nobody is coming to save you, and nobody is going to carry you, and nobody but yourself is going to make you successful. You either train your brain to execute consistently, or you spend your life watching other people win. Now, before we get into the framework, I need you to understand what's actually happening inside of your brain. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's what makes the difference between someone who tries a detox for 2 days and quit, and someone who actually follows through with it. So here's the thing you need to understand about dopamine. I'm going to explain this properly because most people online get this completely wrong. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical. That's the oversimplified version you see everywhere. Dopamine is a motivation and learning chemical. It's what makes you want things. It's what makes you move towards certain things. And this is the part most people miss. It's also what helps you learn to avoid things that are bad for you. A study from Northwestern University published last year in Current Biology showed that dopamine signals operate differently in 2 areas of your brain's reward center, and those signals actually change over time as you learn. So dopamine isn't just about chasing pleasure, it's about your brain figuring out what's worth your effort and what isn't. And that's exactly why overstimulation destroys you, because when your brain is getting easy dopamine all day from scrolling, from content, from constant messaging, from food, from gaming, from all these high stimulation activities that require no effort, your brain's learning machinery gets confused. It starts categorizing effortless stimulation as high-value tasks, and effort-based work, the kind that actually builds your life, gets categorized as low value. Your brain literally learns the wrong lesson over and over again. And there's a biological reason this happens so fast. Research from Georgetown University found that when levels of a protein called KCC2 drop in your brain, which happens with chronic overstimulation, your dopamine neurons start firing more intensely in response to cues and triggers, meaning the associations between I saw a notification and I need to check it now. Get physically stronger day by day. Your brain is literally rewiring itself to be more impulsive, not less. It's building thicker wiring to the things that distract you. And once that wiring's in place, effort feels painful. Reading feels boring, building feels slow, thinking feels uncomfortable. So you escape again. You open another tab, you check your phone, and you watch something in the background. You think you're multitasking, but you're not multitasking. You're training your brain to never lock in properly on anything. And here's why this matters for entrepreneurs specifically. Professor Gloria Mark at UC Irvine has spent 20 years studying attention in the digital age, and her research shows that the average person now stays on a single screen for only 47 seconds before switching to something else. The median is even worse, 40 seconds. And every time you switch, there's a cognitive cost. It takes your brain time to re-engage, time to refocus, and time to get back to the depth you were at before you broke away. So if you're switching every 47 seconds, you are never reaching depth. You are never hitting the level of focused work where real breakthroughs happen, where real money gets made, where real skills get built. You're simply living in the shallows and wondering why your results are also shallow too. And boredom is the gateway to fixing this. Most people don't realize that. The reason you can't focus is because you can't tolerate boredom. And the reason you can't tolerate boredom is because you've trained your brain to expect stimulation every single second. Once you do that, the real world feels dull, work feels painful, even thinking feels uncomfortable. So you escape again and again. That's the cycle. And the framework I'm about to give you is how you break it. Before anyone starts making this complicated, let me make it simple. Because dopamine detox has become one of those buzzword things online where everyone argues about what it really means. And people go down rabbit holes about brain chemistry. But we're not doing that here. The point is not to become a neuroscientist. The point is to become a person who executes. And all this means, practically speaking, is that you are removing the things that give your brain cheap dopamine, and you're forcing your brain to earn dopamine through effort again. That's it. That is the whole concept. And the reason it works is because once you stop flooding your brain with constant stimulation, your sensitivity to dopamine increases again. Things that used to feel boring don't feel boring anymore. Things that used to feel painful don't feel painful anymore. You gain the ability to just sit down and work for long periods of time. And that ability is literally what makes entrepreneurs rich, because nobody becomes successful without deep focused work. Now, 4 rules. Treat them like laws for 1 week. If you cheat, you're cheating yourself. And if you cheat yourself, nothing changes and you will stay stuck. Rule number 1, your phone becomes your tool again. Not entertainment, not comfort, not a way to escape, but a tool. For the next 7 days, you are allowed 1 hour of phone screen time per day. 1 hour. And before you start saying, but I need my phone for business, let's just be real, right? Most of what you call business phone use is dopamine in disguise. And you know that. You're not checking messages because it's urgent. You're checking messages because it gives you this hit, an instant hit. You're not scrolling because you need to research. You're scrolling because, again, your brain craves stimulation. And the moment you admit that to yourself, you stop lying to yourself. If you genuinely need WhatsApp for work, let's say, use WhatsApp desktop. If you genuinely need Instagram for business, post your content and log out, or get someone else to schedule your stuff. If you genuinely need to reply to clients, do it on your laptop. The phone is too powerful to be casual with. It's designed to hijack your attention, and if you can't control your phone, you will never control your life. And here's a stat that should scare you. Research published in scientific reports showed that just having your phone on your desk, not even using it, not touching it, just having it visible, measurably reduces your cognitive performance. Your brain is spending resources resisting the urge to check it, even when you think you're ignoring it. And you all know what I'm talking about here. So during your work blocks, the phone goes in the drawer, in another room, or off completely. 1 hour a day. That's rule 1. Rule number 2 is no passive consumption. No YouTube, none. And yes, that includes self-improvement videos like this one. And yes, that includes entrepreneur content. And yes, that includes podcasts. And yes, that includes background noise and motivational content playing while you work. That is just simply mental masturbation. Because you need to understand something. Most people don't use YouTube to learn. They use YouTube to feel productive while procrastinating. They'll watch an hour of content about discipline and then never apply it. They'll watch an hour of content about business and then never take any action. They'll watch an hour of content about how to stop procrastinating whilst procrastinating. The real reason people love passive consumption is because it gives them dopamine or making them feel like they're improving. But improvement does not come from watching. Improvement just comes from doing. And if you're serious about becoming successful, like genuinely serious, you need to stop being addicted to consuming and start becoming addicted to simple execution on the tasks that matter. So for 7 days, no YouTube. That includes my videos. No podcasts, no entertainment, no productive consumption. Just silence. You and your thoughts. You and your work. Rule number 3, no artificial artificial sexual stimulation. For 7 days, no porn, no artificial sexual stimulation at all. I don't care how normalized it is online or the industry I work in. Porn is one of the most aggressive dopamine disruptors on the planet. It trains your brain to chase instant reward, constant novelty, and extreme stimulation, and it destroys your drive. Because if you're getting the strongest dopamine hits possible from watching pixels on a screen, real life becomes dull and real relationships become harder, and working hard then feels entirely pointless. And it's not just porn, it's the constant thirst trap scrolling, it's the Instagram accounts you follow for dopamine, it's the little harmless, soft content that you tell yourself doesn't matter. It matters because it trains your brain to crave stimulation and reward without effort. And entrepreneurship is the complete opposite of that. Entrepreneurship is effort without immediate reward. So for 7 days, cut it. Unfollow the accounts, mute what needs to be muted, remove the triggers, remove the temptation. Because if you're serious, you will do what serious people actually do. Rule number 4, 10 minutes of meditation every single day. 10 minutes, not 30, not an hour, just 10 minutes. And the reason this is important is because meditation is training your brain to just sit still, to observe cravings without reacting, to sit through boredom without escaping. And that skill is literally what entrepreneurs need. Because when you can sit in silence and still remain calm, you can sit in discomfort and still work, you can sit in uncertainty and still move forward, that's when you become dangerous. The first day will feel horrible. Your mind will be loud, your brain will look for escape, you'll want to check your phone, you'll want to do anything other than sit there. But by day 7, you'll feel the difference. Your mind starts settling, and when your mind settles, your focus will return. So what happens after all of this? Now, let me tell you what's going to happen if you actually follow these 4 rules for the next 7 days, because this is the part that really excites me, because it's so obvious when you experience it firsthand. Your baseline of stimulation will drop, meaning you won't need constant dopamine to feel okay. You'll start enjoying the simple things again. That could be walking outside without music. It will feel peaceful. Sitting at your desk in silence will feel normal, and reading a book will feel engaging again, like it once used to. Working on one task for 2 hours will actually feel satisfying, and the reason it feels satisfying is because your brain starts rewarding effort again. And this is the moment where your entrepreneurial life changes, because the biggest advantage that you can have isn't a secret strategy, it isn't a perfect niche, it isn't a new business model, it's the ability to sit down and do deep, focused work consistently. Because when you can do that, you compound faster than everyone else. Think about it. Most people live in this constant distracted state where they do 10% effort all day. They half work while half consuming, they half build while half escaping, and then they wonder why their progress is so slow. If you can do deep focused work for even 3 hours a day properly, without distractions, without stimulation, without interruption, you will outperform 99% of people in your age group within a year's time. Because 3 hours of real focus is more powerful than 12 hours of fake work. That's what this gives you. It gives you the ability to focus long enough for your potential to actually pay off. Now, the biggest mistake people make is they do this detox, they feel incredible, they feel clean, they feel sharp, and then they go right back to their old habits. And it's usually small things that creep in at first. They start checking their phone first thing in the morning again. They start watching just one video. They start letting podcasts play in the background. They start scrolling again for just a few minutes. And a week later, they're back to being numb, distracted, and mentally weak. So here's what you do after the 7 days. You don't go back to normal life. Normal life is what messed you up. Instead, you go into what I call monk mode light, okay? The version of this that you can sustain long term without becoming too extreme. And monk mode light is simple. You keep your phone under 2 hours a day because you've proven you can control it now. You keep porn out of your life permanently. It might sound hypocritical because of my industry, but it is true. You limit social media to set blocks where you use it for business, and then you log out. You keep meditation daily because it keeps your mind sharp. You keep training in the gym because physical discipline strengthens mental discipline. And you work in deep focus blocks, 90 minutes at a time, where you don't touch your phone, you don't check messages, and you don't switch tabs. You simply just execute. And if you do monk mode light for 21 days after your detox, just 21 days, your life will genuinely change. Not because of some magic, because you'll become a different person. The kind of person who doesn't need motivation. The kind of person who does not rely on feeling good to take action. The kind of person who builds momentum and actually keeps it. And that's what entrepreneurship is. It's not the glamour, it's not aesthetics, it's not fancy quotes on Instagram, it's execution over and over again, even when nobody's watching, even when you don't feel like it. Now I want to end with this, because this is the message I wish someone had drilled into my head earlier. The reason most people stay broke isn't because they can't win, it's because they can't focus. Their attention is split, their energy is scattered, and their mind is addicted to stimulation. Their environment is designed to distract them, and they never fight back. And they spend their whole life wondering why they're not progressing. But the moment you regain focus, everything changes. Because when you have focus, you will create clarity. And when you have focus, you gain skills. And when you focus, you build confidence. When you focus, you build wealth. When you have focus, you become someone you actually respect. So here's what I want you to do. If you're going to do the detox, comment 7 days below and take it seriously, or DM me on Instagram. Don't half do it. Don't negotiate with yourself. Make it a challenge. Make it a test. Make it a standard. And if this video gave you something real, something valuable, drop a like so it reaches someone who actually needs to hear it. Because if you can control your dopamine, you can control your life. And if you can control your life, you can build whatever you want. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.